So just 3 days in 1 month, just going to a forest, increases your natural killer cells in your body. This kind of highlights this idea of this symbiotic relationship that we have with nature, and how we should be getting back to nature. And when we remove ourselves from nature and we live in these concrete jungles, we're removing ourselves from these natural healing methods. Vicky and I are in a place called Trundling. It's in the mountains of Taiwan. We're taking a much needed break, and I'm going to show you guys what we eat while we're traveling, because Vicky and I love to travel quite a bit. So we're going to get some dinner tonight. I brought some oatmeal and some dried blueberries, freeze-dried blueberries, as always. Never leave home without the blueberries. Got some nuts and some dried fruit, but it's really hard to find fresh vegetables, so we're going to the hotel restaurant right now to get some vegetables. And tomorrow we have a long day of hiking. We're going to be hiking probably 6 or 7 hours, so we're going to fuel up right now and show you guys exactly what we eat to stay fueled up when we're traveling. All right. So this is how we roll in Taiwan. This is bamboo soup. And we have eggplant with basil, really good source of soluble fiber. Mushrooms, delicious and nutritious. And we got some peppers with some vegetarian meat, it looks like. And this is a black fungus that's really popular in Taiwan. Chinese cabbage for your cruciferous vegetables. And we got rice and sweet potatoes. And this is our dinner that's going to fuel us for our hiking tomorrow. Look at that spread right there. Show you guys something here. In Taiwan, this is what one thing I love about Taiwan. It's the small things like this. These mushrooms, they pair them with goji berries. Goji berries, super high in vitamin A, and some people say they're a superfood. It's awesome. I mean, everything you're eating in Taiwan is super nutritious. Awesome. Vitamin C. Okay, we're pretty much stuffed to the gills right now. That was a good meal. Wow, that was delicious. And I just wanted to say another great thing about Taiwan. Even their dessert. This is their dessert. It's called red bean soup. So all it is adzuki beans, like this, and they add water and a little bit of sugar to it, and that's it. That's their dessert. It's a little bit sweet. They don't add too much sugar like all the desserts in the U.S., but super nutritious, filled with packed protein and fiber. Awesome. It's our second morning here in Trundling. Just enjoying the morning cup of coffee, and look at this beautiful scenery. This place is super beautiful. So we got a whole day of hiking today. We're going to be hiking pretty much all day. So if you come here, I hope you like hiking because there's not much else to do unless you want to watch TV all day. But so we're going to enjoy our cup of coffee, go down and get something to eat. We'll show you guys what we're going to have for breakfast to fuel ourselves for the long hike today. All right, so we are on our way to get some breakfast. I am hungry. And this place is absolutely amazing. It's teeming with wildlife. I mean, the amount of bird calls and other animal sounds that you can hear is absolutely astounding. If you live in the city, you have to get out here. It's amazing. It'll show you what nature is truly like. This is our breakfast, guys. They got a lot of really awesome vegan options here. Whole food, plant-based options. Let's show you what we got. So we're starting with a huge salad. We got some bean sprouts, some other sprouts over here. Huge salad. The base is iceberg lettuce. Not the most antioxidant-rich vegetable, but we do what we can. I got some pineapples on top. Red onions, an allium vegetable. If you guys have watched my video about boosting immune function, then you know about allium vegetables already. And we got some hot soy milk here. And over here we have orange slices, vitamin C, baby tomatoes, super high in lycopene, which is a very high anti-cancer phytonutrient. We got some more bamboo shoots over here. This is bok choy, another cruciferous vegetable that we also mentioned in the immune boosting video. And we have some peanuts, looks like peanuts, and other mixed vegetables over here. So we're gonna start eating. We're hungry, let's do it. We're about halfway done with our breakfast. We got round 2 right here. Let's see what we got. Right, so here we have some more purple cabbage. So whenever you guys get the chance to add purple cabbage to your meal or salad, do it. This is one of the most antioxidant-rich foods, as well as one of the most alkalizing foods. Definitely one of my staples that I eat every day. Then we have pumpkin and more goji berries like we talked about last night. So this is going to give us all the carbohydrates to fuel us for the day of our long hike. And we have one sweet potato. So this is round 2 for breakfast. I believe I can fly. Alright guys, check this out. This is a Taiwanese sweet potato. These are so sweet, so delicious. It's almost like eating candy. I love these things so much. So in Taiwan, it's very convenient to travel if you're a vegan, because almost every convenience store, well, not every convenience store, but especially convenience stores like Family Mart, they all carry these baked sweet potatoes. Awesome. And just grab them quickly and run. Alright guys, I am stuffed to the gills. So this is our last bowl right here. So this is braised. I think this is so this is braised This is braised mushrooms with white rice. Now of course if you have the option of black rice or purple rice or brown rice, you definitely want to choose those. It's less processed, but Now we only have the choice of white rice, which is okay because we have a lot of hiking to do today. We're going to be burning a lot of calories, so we make do. We make do. So we just finished eating. We are so full. We're about ready to explode. So we're going to go back to the little cabin and veg out for a little bit, let some digestion work its magic, and then we're gonna head out for the long day of hiking. When we're hiking, I'll talk a little bit about forest bathing and the importance of getting back into nature, and some of the studies that I've looked at about forest bathing, and these things called phytoncides, which are these chemicals that trees release, and in Chinese they call them 分多精, and these chemicals have an amazing effect on our bodies when we breathe them in, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later when we're hiking. All right, we're gonna go back and veg out and rest for a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we finished digesting and we are heading out. So our first trail is called Trundling Trail. It's about 2 kilometers long. It's a pretty easy trail. It'll take about 50 minutes to hike, and we're gonna see a waterfall, which is cool. So let's get hiking. So it's started to rain pretty heavily. That's fine. Sometimes you just got to work with what Mother Nature gives you. So at least we're in the forest. We're kind of protected by the trees, so it's not a big deal. But I wanted to talk a little bit about something called Phytoncide. So about 20 years ago, when I first came to Taiwan, I heard some of my students talking about this chemical that comes from trees, this phytochemical that comes from trees called 分多精, which translates into phytoncide. And they said this is really good for your health and your body. But at that time, you know, I'm always skeptical unless I see the science on things. So I thought it was nonsense, and I thought this is ridiculous. But about 5 years ago, I started hearing more and more about this, and I started looking into the literature. And there's more and more scientific literature that shows that people that come to a forest regularly have higher natural killer cells in their body, NK cells. And if you watched my How to Boost Your Immune Function video, we talked about natural killer cells. These are immune system cells in your body that don't need an antigen for response. So they naturally attack incoming pathogens like viruses and bacteria. And there was a study that I saw that took a group of Japanese people, men and women, and they took 3 days and went to a forest, and they measured their blood and urine samples to see if their natural killer cells increased. And they measured that with samples taken from days before they went to the forest. And surprisingly, after they went to the forest for 2 or 3 days, their natural killer cells increased immensely. And they found that it was because of this phytoncide, this chemical that trees release to protect themselves from insects. It also has a lot of health benefits for people when we breathe them in. And what was truly amazing about this study was that even 7 days after they left the forest and went back to their normal jobs in the city, their natural killer cells were still at a raised level, and 30 days after, still had an elevated level of natural killer cells. So just 3 days in 1 month, just going to a forest increases your natural killer cells in your body, totally boosting immune function. So it's pretty amazing, and just kind of highlights this idea of this symbiotic relationship that we have with nature, and how we should be getting back to nature. And when we remove ourselves from nature and we live in these concrete jungles, we're removing ourselves from these natural healing methods, and which I believe is a big reason why we have so much sickness and illness now in our society, is because we are removing ourselves from nature. All of these studies coming out about Phytoncide and forest bathing, and even studies on bamboo forest bathing, all show that there's immense health benefits to getting out into nature, getting out into a forest, just for 2 or 3 days, even for 1 month. And it highlights this idea that removing ourselves from nature is one of the reasons that is making us sick. So I think that's pretty awesome. So the moral of this story is get out into nature as much as you can. If you live in a city, just take 1 day, 2 days, even per week if you can, or a couple days per month. Get out and reap these natural health benefits that we're getting from nature. Okay, enough rambling. Let's continue. Let's all learn from the froggy. We can all enjoy the rain. Right, frog? Wow, he's really letting me get close. Look at that. Whoa, there he goes. Good. So even though it's raining, you can still enjoy something so magnificent like this. Isn't nature wonderful? Okay, so we made it down to this place right here. It's pretty beautiful. Check it out. The name for this in Chinese is the eye of the sky and the earth. So the names of these places in Chinese are really so beautiful. So when you hear the name, sometimes the place doesn't live up to your expectation, but this is okay, it's fine. And we just ran into an old couple. They must have been at least 60 or 70 years old, and they're hiking with just raincoats on and canes, which I thought was pretty cool. Because when you're hiking in the rain, it's easy to get down and think, oh man, this sucks, why did I come out here? And then you see a couple like that, you have no excuses. Get out here and enjoy this, right? Get out and enjoy nature, even if it's raining. Get out here, wear a raincoat, but just get out. Get out of your chair, get out of your house. Take inspiration from those 60 and 70-year-old people that are out here with raincoats, still hiking. Oh my goodness. This is pretty fantastic. You can see how powerful that waterfall is, and the feeling standing next to it was amazing. You just get this feeling that Mother Nature is so powerful. But I was thinking, if we came here on a day that wasn't raining, we wouldn't be able to see the waterfall at its maximum strength. So at first we came here, it was raining. We thought, oh, it's a bit unlucky that we came on a rainy day, but it turned out to be quite fortuitous. So always turn a negative into a positive, right? So we made it to our morning destination, the waterfall. So we're just stopping to get some soup. So this is a really basic vegan soup. It's like a vegan vegetable broth with bamboo shoots, ginger, and mushrooms. So super nutritious, healthy, and but what's most important right now, it's going to warm us up. So that's what we need. All right, let's eat. Alright guys, we're back at the cabin and we're getting ready for a late lunch. We're really cold now because we've been hiking pretty much all day, so we're going to have a nice hot lunch, and we're starting with some organic oatmeal. This is a staple of my diet. Almost every day I'm eating oatmeal. Really good energy source, full of fiber, full of soluble fiber for digestion. And adding this to it. This comes from a company called Viva. You can see that on there, Viva. And I found that their products are really awesome. They contain a lot of really natural ingredients. So this is just a mixture of beans and nuts all ground into a powder, and just add it to the oatmeal. And we're also adding this. This is also from Viva. So this is just it's a mix of berries, cherries, and nuts, and that's all it is. Just berries, cherries, and nuts, and nothing else added. No additives, no preservatives, no sugar, nothing like that. Add that to the oatmeal, and we got the freeze-dried blueberries. You know, if you watched my anti-aging tea video, I never leave home without blueberries. Eat them every day. If you want to know the health benefits of blueberries, watch my anti-aging tea video. I talk about blueberries in there a lot. And for snacks, we got dried jackfruit. Jackfruit is awesome. This is really good if you're doing some kind of real physical exercise, or you're doing some kind of, you're exerting yourself in some way. This is full of carbohydrates, and it's also full of minerals like magnesium, potassium. So if you're exercising, this is really good to bring along with you to replenish those minerals that we're losing when we sweat. And we also have seaweed strips. Right? So this is something I usually buy or bring with me too when I'm traveling. You definitely want to have a good source of iodine. So iodine comes basically from all of our sea vegetables like seaweed, kelp, and dulse and things like that. So I always bring some kind of seaweed. So iodine is essential for proper thyroid function and hormone function. So we definitely need to get a good source of iodine in our diet every day. Everybody should be thinking about that. And last, I just have these. This is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I have these oat biscuits. This flavor is chocolate and blueberry. So I like this brand too. It's called Goulian. I think it's a European brand, but it's pretty healthy. They do have some added sugars to it, but it's not, again, it's not like in the States where they add, the main ingredient is sugar, and it's cloyingly sweet. This is, you know, a little bit sweet, but they don't add too much sugar. Mostly it's just oats, and they add some dark chocolate and some blueberries. Really good for a snack or dessert after eating. So that's going to be our lunch. We're going to mix all that oatmeal together. Maybe drink another cup of coffee if I feel like it. So let's do it. So it's about 6:30, and Vicky and I are still pretty full right now, so we're not going to head out for dinner. I'll probably just have a small bowl of oatmeal a little bit later if I get hungry, and we're going to probably hit the hay around 9:30 or 10 p.m. So I think that's it for today's vlog. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.